got an Alienware system that I'm going to take apart. I've actually got most of it taken apart. This is going to be kind of fun because this was a system I had originally bought, sold it to a person. They needed the money, so they sold it back for a lower price. But there was a few things that it needed to be fixed. Someone, I think the kid spilled juice in it, and if you know Alienwares, they're open on the front end, and so like something got in there. I think one of the USB ports doesn't work. The CD drive I recently found out doesn't even open. It just click, 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 click. So I'm going to take that apart. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is the Alienware system. You may notice it to look like that. But we popped off the back covers. We got our GTX 1070 in here, i7, which is the stock fan. His complaint that it was getting pretty hot, and I don't think that was necessarily the issue, because he said someone put new thermal paste on there. They had another stick of RAM in here, and it was in the wrong slot first of all, so it wasn't even running all the way. But it was already 16 gigs. And so I took that out. We don't need that. No one's going to pay more for that, and I can put that in a different build. But yeah, this thing's a little bit beat up. I did take my air gun and blow it out, so there's very little dust apart from the parts that I took off. So essentially this was on, this goes over top of here, and this sits on the top here. And so that's the front of the Alienware, but in here is where all of the gunk was. There was lots of like sticky stuff. I just stuck it, I basically took it off, sprayed it with some Windex. This is the worst one ever, vinegar, I hate it, but it works. Sprayed it with this a whole bunch, let it sit, took it over the sink and washed it out. So now we gotta let it dry. I might actually air dry it with the giant air. Okay, so I got it put back together. We're gonna test it for the first time. So essentially, if you remember what an Alienware Aurora R5, I believe this is, maybe an R6. So we'll see if ooh, we got power. Okay, that one lights up. That one's lit up, so we're good. We got the power connected correctly. And so I'll show you a photo, but the CD tray was stuck because it was like gooey, like a gummy bear stuck to it, basically. Boom. There we go, cleaned it off. Everything works perfect. So mental note, if you ever have to take this thing apart, this side comes off first. This side pops off, so this has a lever back here. But this side you actually have to pull, and it pops, and then it lifts up, and then off. Then this, there's like two big like spots. So before you get to those, there's a screw here, and then you pop that off. I had to actually stick a screwdriver in this hole and then knock it up, and that pops this whole thing off. And then I had to take this apart from the piece inside of it to wash it. And then in order to get this tray out, you had to take the whole thing out, and then there's like a lever, and then you can just pull this out. And then once you've got everything off, you can pull this front cover off. This one just slides right back out or pops out a little bit, and then you can pretty much, this thing's about as clean as you can get. There's no dust in it anymore. It looks a lot better than where we started. I'm gonna go ahead and hook it up and test it. I've already done factory reset, so I erased the main drive, and then I erased the 2 terabyte hard drive because it's got an MME drive right on the motherboard. I did take out the 8 gigs of RAM out of it, so I'm gonna save this for another build. To give you an example of how dirty some of the things were, this is the mouse. You can see that's like a marshmallow or something stuck into this. So when I'm done, this thing's gonna be just clean as you can get. So I ran into a little bit of a snag. The mouse here, the wheel, grab my screwdriver here. So the wheel here, this button is clear, but it's broken. And it was rattling around inside this mouse. And so I'm trying to super glue it back on. Otherwise, you're just not gonna have a mouse click. I'll just rip it off and throw it away. We'll see how it works. We're gonna do a quick gameplay of Overwatch here. So we're on high settings, 100, 130, 140 frames a second. Not bad. Yeah, we're hitting low hundreds up to 140s, 150s, so you could probably run a 144 hertz monitor off this pretty well. 160s, 170s. Okay, I'm all done. It's the next day. Obviously, I'm wearing my pajamas. But I want to show you just kind of the end results of everything. We've got it all ready. I'll show you the photos that I took of it. But essentially, here it is. We've got our gaming monitor, 24-inch. This is all put together. It looks really good. There's a few, you can't really tell in the photos, but there's a few scratches here. But this is all clean now. This has been dusted out. Everything on it is really nice and neat, and it starts up fast. You're going to get about 100 to 150 frames per second depending on the game that you're playing. But yeah, it's running really smooth, it's quiet. I've been pretty happy with it. So let me know what you guys think. If you want me to run some quick tests on it, I can, but everything's running smooth. I've been pretty happy. I've already listed it for sale. So I bought it for about $600, just the tower only, and I'm selling it for about $980 with the monitor, $850 I think without the monitor. So it should be a pretty quick sale because it's got the M.2 drive on it, and it's got the GTX 1070 and a whole bunch of other little stuff. But if you add all the parts up, you probably couldn't build this same setup new. Obviously you could build it similar to that used, but as far as that goes, yeah. So if you guys liked it, thumbs up. If you loved it, subscribe and leave comments.